Okay, guys. So my buddy Brian's back. We did the chicken enchilada,
Yep.
right? He was the one who taught you to use the KitchenAid blend mixer to shred the chicken.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! All right, and so we're at church, and you mentioned liver mush,
Liver mush.
and I'm like, what is liver mush? Right? We're in the green room, and nobody in the room, if you're not from the Carolinas, you don't know what liver mush is. Now, you might know if you're in England or some other country that maybe it originated from, but I think this is just a Carolina thing. If it's from your country, let us know, okay, down below. All right, so I'm going to turn the show over to Brian, and he's going to blow your mind with this. I've never heard of this ever in my entire life until today.
So, liver mush, everybody, when I talk about it, they want to know what is liver mush. So to kind of give you some background information on liver mush is historically just in the Carolinas. There is something called scrapple that's up in Pennsylvania that's similar. But liver mush, if you're from the Carolina areas or really from the South in general, you understand that you didn't waste food back then. My grandparents had a 1,500-acre farm, and they farmed everything. You know, they had dairy cows, they had pigs, chickens, horses, and they had corn and some different crops. But you don't waste anything. So liver mush is some kind of leftover parts of the pig, and it gets kind of delicate because most people don't want to talk about that, right? They don't want to talk about the parts of the pig that people don't want to eat. But if you eat hot dogs, you eat those anyway, so it's not really a big stretch. I hate liver. I don't like it. If you put down a plate of liver and onions, I'm not going to eat it because I don't like liver. So liver mush is not a strong liver flavor where I wouldn't eat it. But I love liver mush. Out of my immediate family, nobody in my family except my 9-year-old likes it, and she loves it. She would eat it 4 times a day. So liver mush, it's the head parts of the pig. So you've used kind of basically all the rest of the pig, and then you cook the head of the pig, and you take out all the meat out of the head and the juices from where you cooked it, and you mix that with cornmeal, some sage, some pepper, some salt, some seasonings, and you bake it in these loaf pans. Okay, so with liver mush, there's a couple different kinds, aside from homemade, obviously, and homemade is the best, but there's a couple different brands. This is my favorite. This is Hunter's. This is, it's okay. I'm a Hunter's guy, but this is Jenkins. There's also a third that I couldn't find before I came back called Niece's liver mush. And if you're from the South, you'll really understand this. You're either a Ford, a Dodge, or a Chevy guy. You don't mix. And the same thing with liver mush. You're either a Hunter's, Niece's, or a Jenkins. So I also brought a couple pictures that you'll see right here that are of my grandfather actually making homemade liver mush. So let me give you just a little tip about my grandfather. So my grandfather and my grandmother were married 65 years before my grandmother passed away. They farmed, they had a hard life, and I watched my grandfather, who had a 6th grade education. He was one of the smartest men I ever knew in my life with a 6th grade education. So, but I watched him make liver mush. They had a butcher block in their kitchen, and you can see in the picture they would bake the hog head in the oven, and then they would pull all the parts out, and they'd make the liver mush. And we used to get so excited when they killed a hog because we knew we were going to have homemade sausage, bacon, liver mush, and they even had a smokehouse where they made country ham. So we would always get so excited when we knew they were going to kill a hog. All right, so a couple of things. There's some different ways to prepare liver mush and different ways to eat it. One of the other things that was so important about liver mush is it had to be a versatile meat. So you could have it for breakfast, you could have it for lunch, or for dinner. In a breakfast situation, you're probably going to cut it up, fry it, and you're going to have it with eggs or with grits, with toast, that kind of thing. For lunch, you're going to have it on white bread or on a Hawaiian roll or some type of roll. And then for dinner, it can be just like almost like a Spam, like a meat that's going to go along with your meal. So I'll show you. There's a couple different ways to slice this too. For me, I like a slice that's about like that, probably about a 1/4 inch thick. So you can see that's about a 1/4 inch. And that's about the way that I like my liver mush. Now, my wife will not eat it unless it is sliced about that thin right there. She likes it thin and very crispy. All right, so we're actually going to put some butter in here. We're going to get that started and let that melt just a little bit. You want to go over just a hair over medium when you're cooking this. If you get it much hotter than that, especially in cast iron, it's going to get too hot and you're going to end up burning it before you actually get the cook on it that you want. So we're going to let this butter melt down, and we'll get our liver mush in the pan. All right, so now we're going to take, and this is our thinner sliced liver mush. The Jenkins we're going to put over here, and then we'll put the Hunters on this side. All right, so you can see the browning around the edges here. We're going to go ahead and flip these, and we'll see if they're, where they're at in the process of getting good and brown here. Liver mush can be tricky too, because especially the thin pieces, they tend to stick just a little bit, so it can make them a little bit tougher to get a flip on there without tearing them apart. But you know what the great part is? Doesn't change the flavor at all, so there's no flavor difference. See, and that's the color we're looking for. We don't have it on those thinner pieces yet, so we'll let those go just a little bit more. But that's the color we're going to look for on all these. It's a big deal about condiments in North Carolina. Do not use any other mayonnaise but Duke's. Duke's is local. It's from the Sawyer Company. So you can get the Sawyer brand, which is very similar to Duke's. They're packaged out of the same place. They're manufactured. But it's local. You can get it now most anywhere, but it used to be very only much that you could get this in North Carolina. Yellow mustard, doesn't matter what kind unless you're very specific with your mustard taste, but the Duke's is important. Okay?
Okay, we're doing the mayo first.
Mayo thin.
Crunchy.
A lot of crunch. You don't have a lot of the flavor because it's a thinner piece of meat.
Too much bread with a thinner piece.
Which is why I'm not a fan of the thin.
Gotcha. All right. Let's do the thick.
The mayo thick? Okay. And this is Jenkins, remember.
Right.
So this is Jenkins on this piece, and over here is our Hunters. So you're going to taste the difference between the two.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Jenkins is the one that's not my favorite. I'm a Hunters guy. So this is good, but it's not the best.
All right.
This is my favorite. This is how I eat it. This is how my kid eats it. She doesn't eat it any other way but this right here.
No, nothing. Just bread.
Mayonnaise on both sides. Duke's mayonnaise on
no
both
lettuce,
sides.
no tomato,
Nope.
no nothing.
Nope, just plain.
All right. Okay, that's way different. That's way better.
Right? That's the way to go.
All right, each one's a different recipe. That tastes better. Whatever they're doing to their meat, so much flavor. I would totally eat this. I will.
So Hunters with white bread and Duke's mayo. It's my
perfect.
vote. That's your vote too.
Yep. That's my
Way
vote.
to go.
Okay, now Tammy is standing over off camera because she's been sick all week. She don't want to come on camera right now. But she promised she hates this stuff. She hates anything with the word liver. Honey?
I'm no mayonnaise.
You want the mustard one?
Yeah.
All right, I got
Right there.
this bite right here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, she's trying it now.
Does it taste like liver?
No, not at all,
I
huh?
actually have never tried liver. I just don't eat it.
Oh, you've never tried liver in your life?
I won't because of an experience from junior high.
Some junior high memory. She won't try liver. Never tried it. So,
what's the verdict?
It's good. It doesn't
It's
have a lot
good?
of flavor.
you know, it kind of tastes like a little burger, like a little White House burger. And can you order this on the internet?
I don't think you can.
Well, that's going to anger people. They're like, great, you just reviewed a product that nobody can have. If my viewers want you to make it from scratch, to show them how to make it at home, can we do that video?
We can try. So my grandmother made it, but I've never done it. And the recipe has no measurements. It's just parts of the hog and
Middle of the
cornmeal.
country. Just
So,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see it, we'll try it. Why
All right,
not?
so if you want us to make it from scratch in a future video, I'll bring him back. We'll make it here in the kitchen. Let me know down below. In the meantime, thank you, Brian, for coming over. Awesome food.
Always fun.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Take care, guys.
Bye.